Hello, Rock Munchers. We're back in Vintage Story and the server. Now, a lot of things. That was a candle. A lot of things have happened since the last episode. First off, we're hopefully getting. Well, we are getting tier 3 sheep. Or rams, whatever. And along with that, I've been doing some base changes. Now, out here, there's nothing visually. There's just a bit of glass. You know, the basics. But, I've been doing a lot of changes inside the base. Because I know when you guys saw that video I uploaded, you know, the hour long with all the boys, you know, us getting drunk in the cellar, all that. Well, I decided afterwards to do some extra stuff to my base. First off, I now have a proper floor for most of the base. Considering I have not made a floor for the entire series, feels nice to have a proper floor. I even made a little pottery wheel, which if you have clay in your hand, will automatically spin around and do things voxel by voxel. It's a little slow for big creations, but perfect for little ones. Got some clay and such. Well, clay. Bloomeries. I've made these little holders for my little charcoal and any kind of wood I have. Right now I just have a lot of larch. But made these nice little tube holders that can kind of fill up with whatever I feel like. Huh. You know, got this, not much has changed over here. The biggest change has happened actually over here. First off, I modified where the bear pelt is, and now it looks like I'm cooking with his nuts. Not even mad about that one. Got my corn set up, so, you know, finally everything's connected to the power grid. And then I made some ovens. I still need to make one more clay oven, but I've got these ovens, and this is like a rough make of the alchemic symbol for fire. But these are my little ovens, which I'm actually very proud of how they're out like this. Up here, there's been no change in the bedroom. I'm probably going to make this a little storage area. But behind here, this door that did not exist before, is the back of the farm. Now, this was made directly after I uploaded that video, like the last week's video. First off, I'm proud of how this floor looks. It really sold me on that. I've got a little seed shelf here, and each door here opens up to pretty much every back level of the farm. I've got nice little pillared everything, which this just looks beautiful in my eyes. And this just goes all the way up through the farm, which I really enjoy. Ow. But then finally, I reworked my cellar. And now you might be thinking, how do you rework a cellar? Simple. Now, y'all notice, a little carpet here, but where's all the barrels? Where's the bottles? I need some food. I'm just gonna... I hate you. I hate this. Get out of it. Get your booty cheeks back here so I can be... Oh, like spec. Come on, get over here. Get over here. Alright, I'm gonna take a second just to run around somewhere and hopefully despawn the intruder. Because that was not the plan, because there should not have been any chance for a dude to spawn in there. So actually, I'll take this time to run to spawn, because I managed to make some... actually, I shouldn't run to spawn, because that's going to take up a lot of time. Let's just run a couple blocks away and see what happens. If not, I'll fight that guy and then show off the place. But, yeah, I am definitely running back to spawn, because I'm going to... Because I have... Oh, yeah, I made a bar stool. This is going to populate my bar, because I really like how this stool looks. It is very nice. Now, let's close this so I don't air out all my food. Come on, get out of there. Come on, die, die, die. Yeah, you deserve it. This is what you wanted. Okay, now, I made a nice little extra extension to my cellar. I call this the hangout spot. And I'm revealing it piece by piece. First off, we have the bread shelves here. I plan to fill this with bread, obviously. We've got the booze wall. I still need a few more barrels up here. We've got the wine shelf up here. I'm going to be actually making little blocks to carve around the edges here. And then we've got the chill spot. We got the couch right here, the table, foot indent, because when you sit, I think like right about here, press F5 twice. Yeah, you sit perfectly. And the table is fully functional, if I can, yeah, fully functional table, which is very nice. And I realized with the berries I'm growing 7 types of berries, and this is 7 rows of barrels. So I'm going to fill each one of these with their own type of liquor. So it's just like a row of cranberry, a row of blueberry, a row of blackberry. I'm going to fill these with wine bottles too, and this is just going to be the boys' spot. I will be modifying the walls here and there, but other than that, I had a fun time chiseling out this couch, because I think it's 1 center block here and then an extra block up here for a neck rest. And I'm planning on chiseling out some fan, I think it was, a fan. Let me just do shale. And then I think it's shale stone. Where is it? Where? Oh, wait. Fanned shale cobblestone. I'm gonna chisel this to make a nice little edge wall and maybe make a ladder section here using a different tool. But I am planning to go all out in this place, and I love it. Because just this room has been the pinnacle of my design, and already a few people have raided my coffers for more alcohol. Because after that episode was recorded, I was raided. Half of my stock gone in an instant. Now, I'm going to run back to base, to spawn, because I did manage to actually get my first chiseling request on the server by none other than, I can't remember his name. God, I can't think of his name. It was whoever we started in the house of at the start of the first episode, start of the previous episode. I can't think of his name for the life of me. I feel like a piece of shit. Anyways, he wanted me to make a table for him. And yeah, I managed to whip one up in like 5 minutes. And coincidentally enough, the detail and trim I put on it was the exact color he would have asked for. Because as I'm doing it, it's like, okay, you know, whipping up a table. This table's missing something. I know. Let's get fancy with it. So then I got fancy with it, grabbing some, I think it was like bauxite rock, and adding some detail, some trim work, stuff like that. And then I see in text chat, like, dude, I just love steampunk orange. And then I look at the block, I mean, that's moose. I thought that was a giant bear. And I was looking at the detail work, it's like, wait a minute, the block I'm using is kind of close to steampunk orange, because it's that kind of orange. And sure enough, that was what he wanted. And then he was like, hey, how'd you whip this up so fast? So then I'm just showing him some creation process, whipped up the bar stool in like 5 seconds. And then I'm just like, hey, is there anything else you need me... Oh, he's stuck out there. Is there anything else you need me to make for you? And turns out he needed someone to make a little bar, like a bar counter for him. So I was like, okay, give me like 3 seconds. And I chiseled out a bar counter, a corner, and even managed to make a door by using the pantograph and changing it to the door tool thingy-majig. And then I could just whip him up a door by making it open in a closed state and proceeding from there. And sure enough, oh my god, I need to spend more time on the server. It's already, what, 8? Oh my god, it's April. Wait, January, February, March, April. Okay, we're already a decent bit into the next year. That's fun. And I shall just take some food. But you know, I chiseled up some nice little bits and bobs for him. Some bobs and bits. And yeah, I accidentally made him a very nice starting spot for his whole area, which you're going to see, and I don't care if I'm spoiling it, because I feel like, yeah, he hasn't made much progress on the roof since then, so he's not probably made much progress elsewhere on it. But yeah, I'm very proud of my creations because, you know, I'm not very artistic most of the time, but for this, for some reason, I just put my whole badussi into it, and I feel proud of that. But yeah, this was the building we saw last time that was just a frame, pretty much. He's already expanded it a good bit. And yeah, these are the tables I made. And I'm really proud of just how they look. I even have a little signature on the bottom of them that I'm not going to rip up a table for. But beyond that, this is the bar counter I made for him. I know these are called copies. It's all walnut logs. That I had a fun time digging around. But then I made him an entryway here using these logs to just, you know, little like flippy thing. It doesn't look the best this style, but I like it. And he really loved it. And it makes me happy. Oh, he's got some stone out there. But yeah, no, I've just been having a fun time chiseling and designing. And I'm starting to realize I really like having variety in this game. Which brings me to another point, and that's that I might end the Archipelago series I was going to do on its next episode, just because I've been trying to do design stuff in there, and it's just... something's not clicking. I don't know if it's the fact that I don't have a large amount of space to roam around and frolic in, or what, but my brain's not feeling enriched in that environment. And it sucks. Because I really should be getting enriched in that environment, but I'm not. So I'm thinking, to anyone who's managed to get to this far in this game, in this little video, would you all prefer I play modded Minecraft, or do another series where instead of, you know, focusing on, oh, get the mission, get the design, get this, get that, if I focused, instead of all on that, onto, okay, Jesus, I am autisming right now, I'm so sorry. If I instead focused on doing something like, oh, I don't know, having a thing where if I die, I spawn in, like, whole new continents. Because you can set how far out your spawn points go. Because all of your spawns center around, well, spawn 0, 0. So you can make it so it's like, oh, hey, you spawn 10 blocks away from spawn randomly. So in like a 10 by 10 block grid, you'd spawn anywhere in that grid. I'm pretty sure you can set that number up to like 100,000 by 100,000. Meaning you could die and you could spawn, you know, 2 blocks away from your house. Or you could spawn, you could pretty much do the equivalent of passing out on your bed in America and then waking up in, like, I don't know, Australia. And then, you know, getting stung to death by a bird and then waking up again in, like, the Antarctics. And I don't know why, but that just sounds ludicrously fun for me. Because I'm definitely, if I'm doing that, I'm doing keep inventory 100% of the way. Because I'm not restarting from scratch every time I die. But just the idea of being able to restart multiple times just seems so fun. And also the idea of having bases scattered across the world, each telling of my progress from that point, just sounds very nice. So I'm just going to recap this also. Hopefully I'll put this in a short and not just have a short that is me rambling autistically. But would you all rather my next series be a modded Minecraft series, or be me playing a different version of Vintage Story where I'm doing my best to not die or die and have thousands of bases every like square kilometer? Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's how I want to word it. Anyways, going on from that, I haven't done much work on, oh my god, these are nice. I haven't done much work expanding my tunnel over here, or even working on making a boat thing, just because I've been having too much fun chiseling over here, and just literally just sitting here autism to just, like, clapping my hands like a little seal as I'm chiseling. Because I don't know why, but, like, when I built this was the funnest thing I've built in a while. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, and I have all y'all buy the eyeballs, and possibly the actual balls, how about we make the last designing tool I need out of iron? Wait, do I still have my other... Where's my other hammer? I know I made 2 oh wait, it's in my inventory, I'm blind. First off, let's heat this up. So the last tool I actually need is, there we go, is going to be a thing called a, I think it's, yeah, a ladder maker. So you right-click on a chiseled block to make it climbable. So I'm thinking, you know, chisel the corner of that spot, or put a block there, and then make it like little handholds, and make my own ladder along the corner. That was my thumbs, those are crunchy. And exist from that. Because I'm gonna make that little hangout spot just primo. Like, it's gonna be a spot that you look at it, And if you're a dude, or if you're a tomboy, or if you're someone who just loves a man cave, you'll just look at that and go, hell yeah, Batman. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Like, you're just gonna sit there, you're gonna be like, yeah, no ladies allowed. If you identify as woman, not allowed. Ladies are allowed if they ain't ladies. Oh yeah, this is gonna get nice and hot. Now get into my inventory. And now let's hope I can make this with 1 ingot. Okay, ladder maker and... Huh. I was expecting something a lot different than just the chisel mold. Oh, okay. Wait, they really just used yeah, they just repeated the chisel mold. Why would they just repeat that? Oh, wait, nope, it's different. This looked entirely like the chisel mold. And... Breaky? God, my ankle hurts. Owie. Oh yeah, lately I started watching My Dress Up Darling because one of my friends heavily recommended it to me. And I just was like, you know what? I'm bored. I want to watch something. I'll give it a shot. I'm glad I forgot I moved the water over here. I'm glad I gave it a shot because it is surprisingly adorable. Like, I've seen some adorable shows in my time. I've watched some nice romances. I mean, I watched Apothecary Diary. I've watched some other stuff. You know, I've watched some stuff. But this is just adorable. And now with this, I should be able to, yeah, right-click on the chisel block to make it climbable. I'm definitely going to be using this more often down here, so I might as well just set it on the table. Because, can't go wrong with keeping the ladder maker where... Oh. There's no one doing that, is there? Oh, wow, they really made it so you can't set this down. Oh, that's... okay. Never mind, I'm not setting that in that room. I'm gonna set it over here. Wow. But yeah, no, I'm thinking next I might replace the Archipelago series with a series about just either, you know, dying, spawning somewhere with whatever I have in my pockets and starting afresh every time. Or doing modded Minecraft for something like actually... Okay, I'm going to quickly Google this so I make sure I'm getting the right name for this. Modded Minecraft. Why can I not think of it? What is the mod pack I'm trying to think of? God, all the people recommending Greg Tech. No, it wasn't that. Not that. Where is it? I know the name of it and I can't think of it. It's not a stone block. It's something like... God, I'm gonna spend this entire episode trying to find this now, aren't I? Cuboid Outpost. That was the name. Cuboid Outpost. So, should I make the next, like, actual series I play more Vintage Story? Or should I do something like Cuboid Outpost and play through that for a bit? Because, surprisingly enough, I have not beaten that mod pack. I've gotten surprisingly far in it, but I've never beaten it because, you know, I had no stakes in the game. The only stake I had in the game was a stake I put in my belly. Other than that, I didn't really care too much. But having a series like this actually has made me more interested in playing games. Which, by the way, I am playing some games on my own that I'm tempted to record a little episode for. But nothing like, you know, big episodes for. So, yeah. Actually, well, yeah, I'll ramble for like a couple extra minutes. But yeah, I've just been having a fun time playing this and thinking. Because now that I'm realizing how I like to play... yeah, the Archipelago series, it's not for me. It's too restrictive in what it does, because I like the fact that I can run around here and, like, you know, run 20 minutes in a direction and I'm finding new everything, or I walk 10 minutes one way and it's a whole new environment. And I'm not getting that with the Archipelago. and I'm realizing that the restrictions I've enforced upon myself are not really helpful or conducive to my gameplay. And I fully am just like, okay, I'm not going to play something if I know I'm not going to enjoy it. Which, I mean, for some people that might be just like, you should keep playing for us. Nah, I have too much self-respect to force myself to do something I don't enjoy. It's actually a very big point of contention in my brain, and I always hate it, because I'm the kind of guy who, if I'm doing something I don't like, you will know just by my body language. And I don't mean like you'll see me like standing there shivering like a cat who's about to like take a bath. But like it just is very obvious with how my body or how I'll stand around and do stuff when I'm not enjoying myself. In that series of just trying to do the survival island, I am not enjoying myself. And I'm starting to really realize that I like building off of an environment itself, like how I'm building, into this mountain, or, even on the previous one, yeah, I was building on a plains, but I just didn't enjoy my houses. But this house here feels like I have infinitely more character tucked in these two little tunnels than I ever did on my first series of Vintage. And it's just gotta be something with just how I like living in environments like this, because one thing I've always enjoyed was, I'm pretty sure my first Minecraft memory would be watching the Yogscast, like, Shadow of Israfel, their first episodes. And every time I've played Minecraft, modded, not modded, Terraria, Minecraft-like games, even this, I've always wanted to have my own Yog cave, where it's just like, oh, hey, you have this little, like, circle, like, this mountain, where there's just a hole of space punched right through it. And this here is giving me more enjoyment playing in than any base I've built in any other version of Minecraft, modded or otherwise, I've ever played in. And I'm thinking either I do a whole series or I just keep, trying to find little cave holes like this and building just a nice survivable house in them, and then just ditching once I start reaching just like, hey, spent 10 minutes scratching my nuts while I looked at a wall. Or just having fun finding stuff, because I don't know why, but just world generation is very pretty when I can build myself in a little cocoon. And I think the closest I've gotten to being cozy with a base like this is I have a server. I was on a server with some friends in Minecraft, and I found this like really high up mountain, and then just in the middle of the mountain was a big old divot with two more sharp peaks on one end, completely sealing it off. I built a base in there. It's like you crest the hill, you look down, you see a nice sprawling base, and then you go between the two mountain crest, like these two mountain peaks, and then you find the Nether portal in this giant tower I made that I did nothing with other than put a giant map in. But just building with the world around me is nice, but just plopping a building down in a plains or like a flat area does not feel nice for me. And it's funny how this game has made me realize that, but not the let's see here, like, what, 10, 15 years of Minecraft I've played? So yeah, please give me your thoughts on just, how's the base looking, is it looking, and I know you said girly pop, is it looking like this is becoming a man cave? But also, if y'all think the next series should be just me, doing a respawn shenanigan thing, or playing some modded. Anyways, that's been today. Bye, y'all!